daily trading pattern has
Every morning at 5:45
What's
a.m.
the
Market
effective scalping
strategy
strategy that works every single day?
Welcome to Strategy Audit. This is episode number 1, where we will go to YouTube. We will find trending popular strategy with simple rules, with very big claims, like this works every day. This is the only strategy you will need for the rest of your life, and this kind of stuff. I will extract the rules. I will code them up. Then we will do some backtests on quality historical data, a lot of trades, and then we will see. I'm not here to attack any creators. I'm not here to mock any ideas. I'm just in search. I want to give every strategy a fair audit. If it's going to be solid, that's great. If it's going to fall apart during the process, that's useful to know also. Of course, none of this is any kind of financial advice. This is only educational. Past performance in those backtests will not guarantee a future result, if there's going to be any good ones. You should know that. But we need to test them first, and then we can trust them later and maybe throw some money on it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. This thing is very new to me, so please bear with me. For our first episode, I will use this 1-minute scalping strategy. Works every day. Strategy. It's too easy and it works every day. That's what we need. So I will just go through the video. I will extract the rules. I will probably make some timestamps, and then yeah, we will find out.
We've all used it day in and day out to make solid trades for years. I'm going to show you how to trade this touch and turn scalper in just 3 simple steps. Then after explaining the 3 steps, I will take that process and I will trade it in the live market so that you know how to apply it.
Okay, I will skip a little bit so we can make this flow better. There is not too many details. There was some claims. I will get back to them later. But the main idea is this candle is the first 15 minutes of the market opening. We need to find out if it's a liquidity or manipulation candle. How we determine if it's liquidity or manipulation candle, we'll measure average true range on the daily time frame. And if this first 15-minute candle is at least 25% of the daily average true range on a 14 period, then we can confirm that it's a liquidity candle. We will do the Fibonacci extension. We'll drop to 1 minute time frame. 1 minute comes to the extreme of this 15-minute candle. We will activate either a limit buy if the first 15 minutes was bearish, or limit sell if the first 15 minutes was bullish. And these are our 2 target profits. This should be 61.8 and 38.2 is correct. So we will wait for the touch and then turn, and the stop loss is half of the distance. So we are aiming for 2-to-1 risk to reward. The only issue with the limit order is that if there is no wick and the first 15-minute candle will close very close to its extreme, it's going to be impossible to put the limit order straight away. You'll have to just adjust and put it a little bit beyond the extreme, either above or below.
And why do we usually reach the target profit level? Why does this strategy have such a high win rate? Well, because there are only 4 possible scenarios where the price can go every day. And with 3 of these scenarios, the price will pass through our target profit.
That's one of those big claims. He said that we have only 4 possible scenarios and 3 of them are winning ones with 2-to-1. It's a money printing machine then. Let's see.
Profit level. So scenario 1 is that we push through the range, but before we do that, in most cases, the price will go up to collect strength at least once before pushing through. Scenario 2 is that we will stay within the range the whole day, which means that price will bounce back and forth within the range, which means that the price will pass through the target profit level. Scenario 3 is that we have a full reversal of the price and break out of the range on the upside. This still means that price will pass through the target profit level. The only scenario where we actually don't reach the target profit level is if the price breaks through on the first touch of the range. Scenario 1 is a win, scenario 2 is a win, scenario 3 is a win, 4 is a loss.
Okay, so the 4th scenario is just half of those 3 previous scenarios, because look, it's just so these 2 candles, which is the touch, which touched too much, or just pass through, because this can go stop loss and then to the 38.2. This can go stop loss and then stay within the range. This can go to stop loss and then turn around. It's another, yeah, okay, I don't like this. But let's go. All right, so the expert advisor with this simple strategy, touch and turn, 1 minute scalper that works every day, is coded. Now I'm here in my backtest or strategy tester in MetaTrader 5. I'm using the same symbol as he does, which is Netflix. And I was able to find the exact day he's showing in his example. This is the first 15-minute candle of the day, which is our opening range. Okay, so he dropped to 1 minute time frame. Look at the shape, bearish, bearish, little bullish, drop, which is right here, bearish, bearish, little bullish, drop, and then a little turn around.
So this is how the 15-minute opening range looks like on a 1 minute time frame. So what we want to do here is to place the limit order at the edge of the range. A limit order is an order that you place to instruct your trading software.
Okay, we don't need those basics, but he will place the limit order right here. This will be the TP, and then stop loss should be 2 to 1. Of course, first he needed to confirm if this is liquidity candle, which should be 25% of daily average true range for the past 14 days. So the EA will measure the candle and then compare it to average true range. We can see down here, ATR was 3.6. This candle is 1.4, which is more than 40% of average true range. Yeah, and then we straight away after the closing place the limit order, which is the buy order, on the 38.2% of Fibonacci extension. Place our TP. 2 to 1 is the risk to reward. 56 points, 28 points. Perfect.
The reason that this strategy is called a touch and turn is because what usually happens when we've had a confirmed liquidity candle open is that the price will at least one more time touch the low and then turn. So what we want to do here is placing a long limit order, and we are placing it here. And then what we want to do is to set a target profit level to the 38.2 Fibonacci level. So this is a level that the price usually goes back to whenever we have a touch and turn. And then what I want to do is to set the stop loss level, and I want to set it so that we have a 2 to 1 risk reward ratio. So this means that we want the target profit to be 2 times bigger than the stop loss. And the target profit here is 56 cents, which means that our stop loss should be half of that, which is 28 cents, which would be right here. So our trade is set. We have set the limit order, we have set the target profit, and we have set the stop loss. Let's see how it plays out.
Okay, so we can see 56, 28, 56, and 28. We are doing the same thing. He does it manually, but we have EA. Let's see how it played out.
So the price is actually going down to the limit order already in the next minute. So now we are in the long trade. Let's fast forward and see what happens. So we're actually touching the floor of the range here. And we're touching it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more times before the price eventually turns and we reach our target profit here. And this...
Let's see. In the trade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom, in the money. Okay, so we are doing the same thing on the same symbol. Let's see if he has one more.
This isn't cherry picked. So if we look back, we have this pattern here too. So
oh, he said this isn't a cherry pick.
We have a positive opening. We use the Fibonacci levels. So we're entering the short trade here. And then we're overextending the ceiling a little bit, but with the stop loss here, we're fine. And then we hit the target profit. So,
okay, I will find it. 1 second. Okay, I found it. This is actually it's written here. It's Friday 19. The first example was Friday. It was December 22nd. You see, it's the same stuff. Big push up, then pull back, and then we, I guess, coming to touch and turn.
We use the Fibonacci levels. So we're entering the short trade here. And then we're overextending the ceiling a little bit. But with the stop loss here, we're fine. And then we hit the target profit. So again, a perfect.
or extending the ceiling in the money. Do we have more?
Trade. So the day before that, we make no trade because we only enter trades in the opposite direction of the direction of the manipulation candle. Let's go to the previous day. So here we have a positive.
So this is the previous day, December 18th. No trade. No trade, but actually, this is something he didn't mention in the rules, if there is an expiration, because as you can see, that day, which is 18th of December 2025.
That we make no trade because we only enter trades.
So this is the part he shows in the no trade day, which goes down and then straight up and never come back to touch and turn. But if you take a look at the whole day, it goes down, then turn around and go straight up. But eventually it comes back to make the touch. 7 o'clock, it's my server time. My opening is 4:30. So it's like a little bit after lunch in US. And that's the thing he didn't mention, if there is any expiration time on the limit order. If we would have placed the limit order here, we would have get the touch, and this would be actually 53. So we would go like 20.6. This would be a loss, but my order was expired because I just put this input there. So this would be actually a losing day if we would follow the rules how they were described.
Let's go to the previous day. So here we have a positive opening. I'm gonna draw up the Fibonacci levels. So we're placing the short limit order here. We enter the short trade and then we reach the target profit just.
Okay, previous day. So this is the opening. Up, hop, 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 hop. We draw the Fibonacci levels. Let's see how he gonna get it.
So we're placing the short limit order here. We enter the short trade and then we reach the target profit just.
Boom, boom, straight to profit. Beautiful.
This is a classic touch and turn. I wanted to show you a losing trade as well, and I actually had to scroll all the way back to December 15th to find one. So here we enter the trade.
Okay, he needed to scroll all the way to December 15, but the last trade he showed us was December 17, and actually December 18 was a losing day. Let's check the December 15, I guess. Or should we check 16 first? Yeah, I think so. Okay, so December 16 was no liquidity candle. It was just too small. It was only 22.6% of average to range. So we skipped that one. And now here we are, December 15th. We have our order set. Okay, I think this could be actually the one we needed to adjust a little bit. Yeah, you see it's a little bit lower because that's what I said before. We follow the rules. We could either skip this setup or adjust it a little bit. You see it's not on the bottom of the Fibonacci because there is no space. You cannot place a limit order on a current price. You have to be a little bit beyond, just a tiny difference. I didn't make the rules. I had to make some assumptions. Expiry of the limit order, and then another assumption is to adjust a limit order if it's not possible to place it on the bottom of the Fibonacci extension, like in this case. But let's see what he got.
When the price touches the range floor, but it never turns around. So we're actually breaking out of the range and we reach the stop loss here. So that's like one loss in the whole of December. I mean, this strategy, it works great and it's been working for decades. It has.
Okay, so let's just finish this trade. And it's a loss. So what he showed us was December 22nd, which was a win, 19, that was a win, 18 was no trade, but it was a loser. It was just lucky that I canceled the order before the trade happened. Then on 17, it was a winner again, 16 was no trade because there was no confirmation candle, and then 15, it was a loss. So in the example, we actually saw 2 losses and 2 wins. Also, now he said that this was the only loss in the whole December. We can just confirm that quickly. The first and this to the last. And in December, we had 7 trades and we only won 3 of them. All right, so now I'm ready to test it on a much bigger history to see how it performs on hundreds of trades, hopefully. For that, I needed to prepare my own data because the broker I'm using, or most of the people are using, it doesn't provide like thick data with good enough quality, which goes back to the past in such extent. So I download the external data. Then I needed to clean them up. I was using Jupyter Notebook and Python to match the format of MetaTrader 5. I needed to check the timestamps. I needed to check for daylight savings differences. Then especially Netflix went through split of the stocks. So I was normalizing the price. I was checking if there is any bid or asks missing. Yeah, I was just checking if the data are good enough to make a test, a reliable test to see if the strategy is robust or not. That's what we did. Now we can test it. I will be back with some results. This workflow of how I work with the data, how I clean them up, why do I do it, and what I do, I will make a document about it, like PDF or whatever. This EA is done. I made some extensions to it because I needed to make some assumptions about the rules, like the expiring date, then the entry adjusting or skipping, and then I extended the parameters a little bit so we can play around and maybe find a better combination if there is. I will show you that. So this is the reason for the first assumption, which is expiration on the limit orders. You can see that there was bullish opening candle, and then there was no trade for the whole day. And then right before the end of the day, we actually touched and went straight to the stop loss. So I guess there is no point to wait for 6 hours. Yeah. So that's the assumption number 1, and also our first extra input here. Yeah, which is this one. So we can set in minutes if it's going to be 1 hour, 4 hours, whatever. Assumption number 2 is actually the entry handling if the limit order is too close to the market price. So we have 2 options. We can either skip the entry, which I think you wouldn't do, or we can adjust just tiny bit beyond the extreme of the range opening candle. So I think I will go mainly with that, but then we can run, and I will run a big optimization. I will do all the inputs. I will try out thousands of different combinations. I will give you the output of this as well. And then I extended the strategy with some more parameters just to be able to play around. And I will show you my first idea. We can come up with more. So yeah, we have the expiry time on our limit orders, which already helped us a little bit on 18th of December. And then I added one more thing. I'm not going to use it in the backtest. Also, I'm not going to use expiry date for the raw backtest of the original strategy. But this one, to treat pin bar and hammer wick structure as a candle direction override. I was just playing with the idea that maybe if the opening candle was like this kind, this is it's a bullish candle. But you can see that it had a lot of bearish momentum, that we could override the bullishness of the candle. We could treat it as a bearish candle because this is technically a bullish candle, so we would have to wait for a limit sell order here and then we will get stopped out. Or we could treat it as a bearish candle because of the shape of the candle, and we will place a buy limit order here and just take the profit. Of course, you'll have to test it on many trades to see if there is a point, and then the rest of it would be the characteristic of such candle, which would override direction. Okay, I will get my data ready and then we will do some backtest. Okay, so now I'm importing our custom cleaned tick data from external provider because our history wasn't big enough. We dealt with possibly all the troubles. We normalized the price before the split. We checked for time zone. We dealt with daylight savings. We dealt with missing bid and asks in the most correct possible way. We adjust the format so it fit MetaTrader 5 platform, and we also will take a sample from the broker's data because now we know that our broker's data match the data of the creator of the strategy, and now we want to see if our external data match those data. To compare those 2 data sets from the broker, we need to export the most recent history because it's the most quality one. So we will export this one, and then we will do the same for our custom symbol. Then we will go to the lens dashboard on etherlenses.com website. We will use feed match feature. We can go a little bit lower than that. And then we will just compare to our 2 data sets. The broker's data, our custom data, compare feeds. From 90% they are the same. There are some mismatches, but data are good quality. And minor discrepancies exist, but should not significantly impact the backtest. I have more about the workflow with data sets. I will provide the article in some way. Okay, so now we can backtest exactly how the strategy is meant to be traded. So average true range time frame should be daily. Period is 14. Candle time frame is 15 minutes. For the candle to be considered a confirmation or liquidity or manipulation or stop hunt candle, it needs to be at least 25% of this value. Our opening time is 4:30, which is 9:30 in US. We will adjust the entry, meaning that we will push it a little bit beyond the extreme of the opening range candle to be possible to trade. The risk to reward ratio will be 2-1. We will not use any expiry date on the limit orders. We will just trade it with those 3 simple rules. And we will see how it goes. Then we can adjust the expiration and yeah, we can play with this. Okay, we can for the starts test the trades from the beginning of 2024, which will give us 1 full year, 2nd full year, and a little bit. We don't need the visuals now. We know it works. Oh. So the backtest didn't go very well. We had 357 trades. We won only 25%, even though the average trade was bigger than the losing trade. Of course, because we were using 2-1. This is far from enough. 0.68 profit factor. Yeah, we would be just losing money. Yeah, we should do the opposite actually. I would like to go back to the video because there's a couple of timestamps I pointed out to myself.
Such a high win rate? Well, because there are only 4 possible scenarios where the price can go every day, 30% of the time.
Yeah.
Now let me.
This is something I wanted to. You can see these screenshots. I took it one by one, and you can actually see that the testing period is from December 24 until January 26, and it has only 22 trades. 6 of them are winning, and 16 of them are losing. This is Palantir, but it's comparable to our result of 24%. And yeah, I have pictures of these, and of course I had to recreate the backtest. Okay, so first, I don't know why in the detailed report Meta has NVIDIA header, but it was tested from December 2024 until January 2026, which is many months. Touch enter NVIDIA, but we are testing Meta here. We will do both, I think. But it's only 5 trades in more than a year. 3 was winning, 2 were losing. Let's see. Also, it could have been the mistake, but in the detailed report it says NVIDIA here and Meta platforms in here. But let's do both of them and see. Okay, so we will start with NVIDIA. 23rd of December 2024 until 20th of January 2026. 23rd December 24. Okay, let's go NVIDIA first, then we will do Meta. Okay, this is not very reliable. All right, Meta, it's a little bit better. It's so we got a 32% win rate, but I guess in this period for scalping strategy that's supposed to work every day, 133 trades, it's a little bit more suitable than 5 trades. NVIDIA, I don't have a good enough quality data. We can do it later. Yeah, let's move to next symbol. Tesla Motors, the same period. Between this December 24 and January 26, there was like 270 trading days, and from 1 minute scalping strategy in the report, we only got 13 trades, and the percentage of winning trades, 38%. This is the same. Tesla, let's go. We got 122 percentage. It's kind of similar. It's not good. No bueno. Next one.
These backtest
Okay, Netflix, we already did that one. We don't have to do it again.
shows.
Amazon. I came back after a couple of weeks to finish a video after watching the previous footage. I just decided I'm not gonna do all the symbols because there is no point. It looks like a trash strategy anyway. I just decided that on this last example on Amazon, I will show you how I work with data. We will see if we will get any better results. If not, I will just wrap it up. I will give you the EA. I will give you the guide how I get my external data, how I clean them up, and how I work with them. and then we will just move to another strategy. First, I will just prepare a shell in MetaTrader 5 for our new custom symbol. In symbols, I will create custom symbol. I will copy from Amazon, which we already have. Amazon C for custom. Okay, now we have our symbol. We should be ready to test on it. But at the moment, it's empty. So we need to fill it with data. And because our broker does not provide such a deep historical data, we have just basically a couple of months, half a year of data for this symbol. So we need to get our data from external provider. So to get the data, I have 2 bat files. I'm using one to download the historical data. I usually do it in batches. So if anything goes wrong, because it's a lot of data, I can start when I finished off. And I don't have to do it all over again. I will connect to Dukascope. I will get the tick data. But those data are not format friendly with MetaTrader 5 platform. So I'm using another bat file to convert the data to the correct format and to correct time zone. So the download is done. My next step would be to convert Amazon to MT5 into MT5 friendly format. The files are converted to MetaTrader 5 friendly format. Now I do one more thing. I don't need to do usually all that work with forex pairs, but with stocks, I want to check the tick data first, analyze them just a little bit, and then correct some issues. For that, we will use Python. I have one notebook ready, which collect all the files from the folder, analyze the data, how much of it is missing, if there's any discrepancies and stuff like this. Then we will repair, because we don't want to skip a lot of days just for a little bit of discrepancy. If there is a bid or ask missing and the trade wouldn't be taken, that would be a shame, even though it would be a valid trade. Or just because of the daylight savings, we would be missing some of the days. It also takes all of the batches and connect it to one. Then we have combined ticks, which are cleaned. When we are ready like this, we can go back to MetaTrader 5. We can check our symbols. We already have our shell ready, which is this one. And then in ticks, we can see that we have no ticks. So we will want to import the ticks. We'll just find our folder. These should be our ticks from the tested period. And now, yeah, we'll just wait till it's imported. That's it. I will just add the extra month I have downloaded to be able to calculate the average true range early, as of the start of October. That's it. And now we should have our data. In the tester, you will find our custom symbol right here. We will go from at the beginning of October until the end of 2024, the same way he did in the video. And we can see that we have our data from September. Yeah. And we are able to lose money already from the beginning of October. Yeah, let's see. Let's the test run. That's it, and 26% on 203 trades. It's not a big sample for automated strategy. It's not like a really good backtest, but I'm just trying to find or confirm the claims that we have 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. We have a very high win rate because we have only one scenario which is losing, and then all of the others are winning. Yeah. As we can see, this is not a strategy to take a deep dive into our research. That's the reason I'm not gonna test another symbols, because we barely crossed the edge of 30% win rate. There's nothing wrong with a small win rate if the risk to reward ratio is there, if other factors is there. This is a simple strategy. It's just not good enough. So I will wrap it up right here. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but I will provide the EA to play with, maybe some other instruments, so maybe some other parameters will make profitable trades. Then there's gonna be more EAs coming. Firstly, because I will audit more strategies. I will provide everything, and I will try to extend them so you guys can play around with it. And also, I will just provide the guide how I work with data, because most of the brokers doesn't provide good quality historical data tick by tick. This 1 minute whatever simple scalping strategy that works every day was audited, and it failed horribly, to be honest.
Daily trading pattern has statement every morning at 5:35 a.m.
Scalping strategy that works every single day.